Alright, you installed all the performance upgrades from stage 1 till stage 3 across everything, and you're still looking for some additional power. You're at the right place. I'm quickly going to take you guys through and show you how easy it is to get more power when adjusting your turbo. We are quickly gonna see how much power this Evo can make. So basically, if you want to see how much power your car can make, you're gonna use something called a dyno. This is basically a dyno, the thing the car is standing on. So basically, it's got rollers in the front and it's got rollers in the back. As the wheels are rotating, the rollers are also rotating, and there's a lot of mathematics going behind, and it calculates how much power your car can actually do. Usually on dynos, some more information, they usually do a 4th gear pull. I think in this game is like a 3rd gear or something, doesn't matter. But anyway, let's quickly see how much power this car makes. And that is not good. That is 282.4 kilowatts. So what I'm gonna do now is, and I also recommend you to do, is take quickly a photo of, I know it sounds so dumb, take a photo of how much power your car is actually making as a reference. 282.4 kilowatts and 511.8 newton meters. It's just so that you can always refer back to how much power you did make and how much more you're gonna make. Alright, so we're quickly gonna say, okay, here's some more info. We did 313.8 kilometers per hour on the dyno, and we're gonna go to tune settings and we're gonna go to turbo. I'm gonna assume now that you're completely new to cars and tuning them and all of these kind of things. I just want to give you guys a quick briefing of what a turbo is and basically what's going on this massive graph over here. A turbo is an engine component, it's just a part of the engine, nothing big to it, right? Even though the turbo might be big. But basically all it does is it blows more air to the engine. More air, more fuel, more power, right? So basically that's all the turbo does. Let me give you an example. If I just breathe air in, okay, like I'm doing, just breathe. That is just normal air coming into your car without a turbo. Now with a turbo, it's basically taking like a leaf blower and blowing it down your throat into your lungs. I mean, it's gonna be like a split second and your chest is gonna be full of air because you've got all of that additional air coming in, right? It's gonna be so much easier to breathe, right? So basically that is what a turbo does. It just gives the car more air. So let's quickly understand this graph over here. So we've got 3 colors. We've got this light blue, a darker blue, and red. Basically this light blue, let's quickly go over here. If I go all the way down like I just did, you can see it's not surpassing this light blue color. It's basically because that is the minimum amount of air that you can do at that certain RPM. When I'm referring to RPM, here at the bottom you can see from 0 to 1000 RPMs. So even though it's saying 1, but you're at the end, it says RPM times 1000. So it's 1 times 1000 is 1000 RPMs. So from 0 to 1000 RPMs, that is how much air you're blowing. From 1000 to 2000 RPMs, that's how much air you're blowing, and etc. and etc. So when you come to 9,000 to 10,000, yeah, that is 9,000 RPMs, you can basically see that this, you can't blow any less than this. This is like how your car is inhaling without the turbo. So basically when you start taking it up, you can see it's actually forming a blue color. So that blue color is the additional air that is basically being blown, or you're asking the car to please blow a little bit more air at 9,000 RPMs. Very simple, right? The light blue is your minimum. The blue is how much air you're asking, like how quick you turn that leaf blower to blow more air into your lungs. The red is your maximum. So let's quickly go here. You can see we cannot go more than red. That's the best the turbo can do. Okay, so now that we understand how the turbo basically works, how this graph works, we're going to talk about tuning your car. Okay, so let's quickly start off by the first. When you think about it, when you're racing, when do you ever see anything like 1000 RPMs? I mean, if your car is standing still, it idles at 700 or 800 RPMs. I mean, that's not even 1000 RPMs, right? So if you're actually gonna use your 1000 RPMs and put a lot of air there, it's gonna be a waste. I mean, whenever you're racing your car, you're always seeing like 6000 above. I mean, like if you approach a corner, you're gonna gear down maybe, and once you gear down, you're gonna take your corner, and already when you gear down, you're gonna, let's say, drop from 8,000 to 5,000 or 9,000 to 6,000. In general, you're always seeing high RPMs whenever you're racing, basically because your foot is always flat to the ground. So having a lot of air over here and having less air on higher RPMs is exactly what you should try to avoid. Like, what I would recommend is coming straight to 0 to 1,000 RPMs. You're gonna drop that, and look what happens. As soon as I drop it, look at all the other there's other squares over here. All of them actually goes up, because the air that was there at the 1,000, you're actually distributing it. You're giving all the other RPMs a little bit more air, so they can make some more power. So now, let's be honest, when are you going to be between 1,000 to 2,000 or 3,000 to 4,000 RPMs? Basically never. So what we're going to do is we're just going to drop it all the way. Okay? And as you notice, as I'm dropping it, it's actually distributing some air to 1, 2, and 3 again. So what you're going to do is you're just going to go back to 3, you're going to drop it. You're going to go back to 2, you're going to drop it, and 1, and you're going to drop it. And you're going to rinse and repeat. You're going to drop 4, drop 3, drop 2, drop 1. Just keep on doing it until you can't do it anymore. So this is basically, you don't have to go as extreme as like what I'm doing now to get completely rid of it. Basically, I'm just doing it just to make sure I'm getting a little bit more power at the end of the day. I mean, I'm probably never going to see 4,000 RPMs in this car. Unless like you have a really bad crash, and then you might have that little bit of a delay where your car's not making so much power. But once the turbo kicks in, you're going to make so much more power. Okay, we're almost done. Almost. Making sure we're getting most power from this. Okay, and my last one. There we go. So that is basically it. All I did was I take my all the air and I shoved it down in the higher RPMs, because that's where you are most of the time when you're racing. So we're gonna go back, and we're gonna do a dyno run. So I do not know how much more power we can get, but if I can get, let's say we were at 282, if we can get about 310, that would be awesome. That's 30 kilowatts more. Let's have a look. Oh, 306. Okay, I was a little bit too excited there. 320. Maybe if I do the car's ECU as well, we should also get more power. But I mean, let me quickly look at it before and after. We had 282.4 kilowatts. Now we have 306.3 kilowatts. That is literally, how much is that? Call it 24 kilowatt gain. So, oh yeah, wait, I said 30, if we can, yeah, 30, okay, anyway, doesn't matter. And then our torque was 511, and now we're making 534, which is basically 23 Newton meters more of torque. I mean, something as simple as that, and we have more power. I mean, even if you look at this graph, right, you can see basically the dark blue line. I'm going to zoom in for you guys on that. The dark blue line indicates now, and the other blue line there indicates before. So you can see with the blue line, we were basically underneath until we reached like 4,000 RPMs or 5,000 RPMs, and it just shot up and held above. So meaning that whenever we are above 5,000 RPMs, we will always make more power. And if you look at the torque is this orange one. Basically, we struggled also to like 5,000 RPMs, and then the torque was just much more the entire time. So basically, you can play around and just master this. So that is how you basically adjust the turbo. I do hope that I explained everything clearly. If you have got any questions, let me know in the comments. Basically, just make sure all the bars as the boost, the additional air is at the higher RPMs instead of the lower RPMs. And just like that, you make more power. And it's free. I mean, I didn't install anything, I didn't pay for this, it's just free. It's some knowledge, we're giving us some power. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. I do hope I see you all in the next video. Hopefully it will be just as informative as this video, and yeah, but for now, peace out.